As you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about video games. More specifically, just the lack of enjoyment and fun, at least for me, but talking to other people, friends, people online, we kind of all feel the same way where, yeah, we still play video games and, we still have our fun moments, but it's just not the same as it once was when we were kids or even, teenagers. So in this video, I just want to talk about a few theories and a few, reasons on, what could be causing that. Some I agree with, some not so much. So I'm going to get started. And the first thing that I want to talk about is just the overall lack of challenge and reward. So what I mean by that is this is comes from when just getting older and maturing and dealing with life, real everyday life with responsibilities and tasks and things that we have to do in life on a day-to-day basis, where when we were younger as kids, we didn't have the same amount of responsibilities and the same social pressures of just day-to-day life and getting things done that we have to do. So it kind of makes the reward of playing video games, it's not the same. And even like the challenge, you're gonna, if you're at like a tough part of a game, whether it's a story mode or you're trying to level up your character or just get your rank higher in Call of Duty, grinding camos, whatever it might be, at least for me, as I'm doing it, it starts to feel like a waste of time. Like, I'm just being honest. It's like, does it really matter? Like, does it really matter if I get to the highest rank on Call of Duty? Does it matter if I max out the Game Pass this season? Does it matter if I really beat the campaign or beat the story mode? It's like, what is the reward from it? What is is the challenge worth the reward? And I look at video games now as just more of a stress reliever, kind of a thing to just kind of do to wind down after a long day, or sometimes I'll even do it in the morning before work. It's weird. Sometimes if I'm up early, I will play a couple games, and sometimes it has me more focused throughout the day. I want to do more of that because I have noticed that. But getting back to the point of just it's the challenge is not worth the reward. Because again, you have all these other, when you're a kid, it's different because you don't really have responsibilities. You don't have things that you really have to get done. And so it's, playing the video games, it kind of gives you that, it gives you that sense of, wow, I'm accomplishing something, So like I said, when you're comparing the video game challenges and rewards to the real life challenges and rewards, they just don't add up. So I think this definitely plays a huge part in at least my life. I don't know about you guys. Before I get to the next one, I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you feel has changed in your personal life and what maybe is lacking or missing in video games today opposed to before, a decade, 2 decades ago, when we were younger. So the second one is something that resonates with me as well, is not having friends to play with anymore. When I was a kid, it just felt that whether, kids at school, my friends in the neighborhood, everyone played video games. Whether it was Xbox or PlayStation, everyone had a console, and it was fun. Even when you went over to, your friend's house, you would play. You would play MW2 or Zombies or Black Ops 1, Left 4 Dead, any of those games. And now, and it also felt that it was, I don't know what it felt like people always had mics, especially on Call of Duty. When you would go in those lobbies, everyone had their mics on, especially if it's like in a search and destroy lobby, everyone was talking. It just felt it was easier to not only, you had your friends in real life playing all the time, but it was also easier to make friends online when you played with people. Now it's just, I don't know. I don't know how PlayStation is, but I know Xbox, they have posts. You can make posts, and, you can, if you're looking for, people to play zombies with, or if you're, looking to play ranked play, anything like that, you can do that. And I know there's Discords, of course, which I like Discords. I have a Discord if you're interested in joining. It's in the going to be in the description of this video. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. And again, this could also be too just from us being adults now. We don't have as much time, to play and to make more friends and to build those connections and those bonds with other people. So I think it's a little bit of everything in that, but yeah, we don't have as much friends to play with. And I think, of course, that's going to make gaming less fun. That's when I look back, that's what made, playing video games a lot of fun, when you had people to play with. Playing video games alone is fun for like an hour or two. That's what I do now most of the time. And like I said, it's just like a stress reliever. And it's not like, oh my gosh, there's not like memories being created. There's not like laughs and all the things that come from, doing things with friends in general. So that's my second point. The third theory is hackers and sweats. Now, I can really only speak on Call of Duty, but I'm sure other games are the same. Now, yes, old Call of Duties, there are a lot of hackers on there, unfortunately, but even the new Call of Duties, like in Warzone, in ranked play, multiplayer, there's hackers. And the sweats, there's a place for sweats because I was a sweat at one point. I used to play UMGs, like it's like MLG, it was pretty much like competitive gaming, Black Ops 2. But again, there's places for sweats. And I was big on League play in Black Ops 2, and I like ranked play as well. But, if I would just want to just chill out and play some pubs for, like I said, like an hour or two after work, like, I don't want to have to be sweating my balls off to play, just to have a good time, and that takes the fun out of it, of course. If I have to, and that also brings me to skill-based matchmaking as well, which I talked about in a previous video about talking about the older CODs compared to the new CODs. That brings it takes the joy out of it when you have to try so hard. And then just the hackers are just insane. Anytime I see a hacker, I immediately leave. But yeah, the hackers are insane. I know I play more of the older Call of Duty, so I deal with them a little bit more. But I've played the new Call of Duties, and I see the new Call of Duties. People, they hack. People still hack on the new CODs, which I don't understand. We're in 2025. There should be some type of software on these games, anti-hack, anti-cheat, things that they have installed on these games where you can't do it. You can't use aimbot. You can't shoot through walls. You can't see through walls. All these things should be fixed, and being able to, not be a problem. In the older CODs, I can understand a little bit because obviously I don't expect them to, monitor those games as much as the new ones. But like I said, even the new ones, there's hackers all over the place, and it's how could you have fun like that? You can't have fun, so. That's another big one for me. Now, the next two, I'm a little, I agree and I don't agree with certain things. But yeah, the fourth theory I have is game developers aren't focusing on the right things. Well, they are focusing and putting their time into the wrong things. So what I mean by that is I feel that the game developers, they are focusing on more of the aesthetics of the game and the battle passes and skins and camos and emotes, opposed to focusing on the gameplay itself, such as maps, guns, just the quality of the game. Like I said before, again, if you can have a game pass and all these emotes and skins, there shouldn't be hackers allowed on the game, right? I think that's a fair thing to expect. There shouldn't be as much hackers as there are on the game. But again, and at least for Call of Duty, I feel like it shows because they have to recycle maps and guns. Why is that? Because again, they're focusing on the wrong things. So it's easier just for them to just recycle an old Call of Duty map than to have to, really redesign and make good maps. And to me, it's, they use the same kill streaks, which I understand to an extent, but again, like, they're not focusing on what makes the game good. Again, the aesthetics of the game are fun, right? It's nice for the camos, it looks good. The battle pass or the game pass is nice. The battle pass when you unlock different things, sure, it's fun. You know, the emotes, skins, all those things, they're nice, but I feel like they focus on those things more than the gameplay itself, and I don't agree with that. It should not be like that. And I think that takes the fun out of games as well. Again, it's fun for the aesthetics part. Like I said, this is why I'm like, yes and no on it, because yes, it brings a different type of fun, but I don't think it's a long-lasting fun to where 15 years later I can still get on old CODs and still have fun because the game is good, not the skins or the camos were good, you know. So there's that one. And then the last one is just a quick little theory, is nostalgia bias. I'm again, it's yes and no. Of course, nostalgia will play a part, but as I said with the game devs recycling maps and guns, if the game, people always use, the games weren't really that much better, it's just because it's nostalgia, but I don't agree, because I don't agree to an extent, at least, because why do they still use the same maps? You know, what it's, you know, to me, that's a dead giveaway of like, yeah, I mean, how, again, of course, nostalgia plays a role, but the games were just good. The maps were good. The guns were good. The gameplay itself was smooth and good. So, you know, I agree to an extent, which of course nostalgia and, you know, of course it was fun, but I think the nostalgia comes from everything I pretty much said in this video about having the friends to play with, the memories that were made, and yeah, just I feel like the challenge versus reward was more worth it back then when you were a kid, but you don't have the responsibilities and the, you know, overall life of adulthood. So yeah, I think that's my 5 theories that I really wanted to talk about, that I think are the 5 main ones that contribute to making video games not as fun anymore. But yeah, like I said earlier in this video, please let me know in the comments down below what you think is holding video games back and what is different now than it was before. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.